Centrelink is set to undergo some major changes as part of the federal government's new approach to reforming Australia's welfare system. These changes, which are expected to roll out in phases over the coming months, are sparking concern and confusion among thousands of Australians who rely on government support payments. At the heart of the proposed reforms is a tougher, more data-driven compliance system, which critics warn could unfairly penalise vulnerable people. The government has argued that these changes are necessary to ensure taxpayer money is going to those who genuinely need it, while also encouraging more people to enter or return to the workforce. One of the key shifts involves how mutual obligations are monitored and enforced. Under the new system, job seekers may face stricter requirements to report their job-seeking activities and attend appointments. Failure to meet these expectations could result in payments being suspended or cut entirely. Another major change is the increasing use of automated systems to track eligibility and detect overpayments or non-compliance. While the Department of Social Services says automation will reduce errors and improve efficiency, welfare advocates are worried about a repeat of past failures like the infamous Robodebt scheme. That program, which relied on flawed data matching to issue debt notices to welfare recipients, was eventually ruled unlawful and caused widespread distress. Critics are warning the government not to repeat those mistakes in its pursuit of welfare reform. In addition to the compliance overhaul, there are changes coming to specific Centrelink payments. For example, JobSeeker recipients aged under 55 will now face a higher rate of job search activity. At the same time, some categories of long-term recipients may find it harder to access exemptions from mutual obligation requirements, even if they are dealing with health or family challenges. The government insists these measures are about creating a fairer and more accountable system, but those on the ground say the added pressure may push people further into hardship. The disability support pension is also under the microscope. While no major cuts have been announced, the assessment process is being tightened, with more rigorous medical and work capacity reviews. Some applicants have already reported longer wait times and more complicated procedures when applying for support. This is especially concerning for people living with invisible or fluctuating illnesses who say their needs are often misunderstood or dismissed in rigid bureaucratic processes. One of the less talked about aspects of the Centrelink reform is the impact on First Nations communities and remote area recipients. Under the new compliance system, there are fears that people in regional Australia, particularly those with limited access to digital services, will struggle to keep up with reporting requirements and face disproportionate penalties. Advocates are calling for a culturally sensitive approach that recognises the unique challenges faced by Indigenous Australians and rural communities. The government has responded to criticism by promising additional support services, such as digital literacy training and access to social workers, but many are sceptical that this will be enough. Welfare groups say that a truly supportive system must be built on trust, not punishment, and that focusing solely on compliance misses the broader issue of job scarcity and structural inequality. Meanwhile, politicians from the Greens and some independents are calling for a complete rethink of the welfare framework. They argue that raising payment rates above the poverty line and reducing punitive measures would do more to lift people out of disadvantage than increased surveillance and sanctions. A parliamentary inquiry is already underway to review the impacts of the proposed changes and gather feedback from affected communities. As the debate continues, Australians who rely on Centrelink are left wondering how these reforms will affect their daily lives. While the government insists it's about building a better, fairer system, the lived experience of welfare recipients suggests there's a long way to go. For now, staying informed and connected with advocacy groups may be the best way for people to protect their rights and prepare for what's to come.